Hello there everyone, and welcome to another edition of Lydia's Crafty Corner with me, Lydia, in my little crafty corner. So today I'll be sharing with you how you can create really beautiful and cool subtle embossed sentiments using dyes. So I'm going to be using some dyes from Altenew to create this really cool yet subtle embossed sentiment in the center of my cards. So I'm going to show you how I do this. I'm going to start by doing all the stamping first. So I'm using the Crown Bloom stamp set from Altenew, and I'm going to be making 3 cards. So I'm going to be doing this part exactly the same for the 3 panels. So I'm just using a panel of 4 1/4 by 5 1/2 cardstock, white cardstock, and I'm just going to be stamping the bloom from the Crown Bloom stamp set into both of the corners. So I've just lined it up in one of the corner, and then I'm going to flip the whole panel round and then stamp it again. This means that I'm only going to have to place the stamp once for all of my panels, and then it's going to make it easier for me to stamp in the layers as well. So as you can see, I haven't moved the stamp, so that means when I do all the layers, they're all going to be in exactly the same place on each corner. So I've done that for all of the panels. I'm then going to add in the first layer of colour, and for this one I'm using the Pink Pearl. So I'm using 3 different colour combos for the 3 different panels. So this one is going to be Pink Pearl and Coral Bliss for the second layer, and then I'll move on to a yellow combo and a blue combo as well. So this is the second card. This is my blue combo, and I'm using some Volcano Lake for this layer, and then I'll use a darker colour for the second. This is my third card, so I'm using the Buttercream for the first layer of the large petals, and then I'll be using a darker yellow now. So I'm just adding in the second layer for the petals, and I'm using some Warm Sunshine ink, and you can see how pretty that is. And because I haven't moved any of the stamps when stamping the first outlines, you can see that it's really easy for me to stamp all these panels really quickly, just not moving the layers. So for the second layer of the green one, I did use Lagoon, and for this one here, I am using some Coral Bliss. I'm then going to move on to the centers. So these both have 2 layers for the center, so I'm going to use some dewdrops for this one. I'm going to go with really contrasting colors for the center of the flower rather than the petals. You could do it the same colors if you wanted to, or really close colors, but I just really wanted these to pop a little bit more. I've used an orange combo for the turquoise card, so that would be Orange Cream and the Sunkissed, and for this one I've used Pink Pearl and some Pinkalicious for the dark pink in the center of these yellow flowers. So this one has the Sunkissed for the first layer of the middle of the flower, and then the second layer is the Orange Cream, and for this one we had dewdrops, and now I'm using the Aqualicious in as well. I want to create a little bit of a mask for these flowers so I can stamp over them, but it looks like it's going to be behind. So I'm just stamping, just taking the die from the Crown Bloom stamp set, and then I'm just going to cut this out of some masking paper so I then have a mask. You could actually stamp it onto a piece of cardstock if you wanted to, and then cut it around it, and then use some repositionable adhesive to pop them into place, but I find that this stamping mask paper works really, really well. So I've just placed the stamp and the mask over the flower, and then I am gonna just keep moving this mask while I stamp all of the leaves. So I'm just popping the leaf down into place first. I haven't moved it, and then I've done all of the panels, switching them all around so that they're all in the right place. And then once I've done all the panels with the first leaf, I moved the leaf and then did the second leaf in the corner of the panels as well. Once I've done all the corner leaves, I'm then going to add in a little flower cluster. This is again from the same stamp set, the Crown Bloom stamp set. And I'm just making sure that I do add the mask over the flower before I do stamp, because I don't want any messy flowers. So then I'm going to add on my sentiment. I just have a piece of acetate. So this is see-through acetate, and this is going to help me place my sentiment into place on each of the cards in exactly the same place. So my acetate panel is exactly the same size as my cardstock panel, so 4 1/4 by 5 1/2, and I'm just using the see-through quality of this to be able to line it up on my mat underneath, so I can make sure it's going to be in the right place before I do adhere them into place. So I'm just using some Altenew tape glue to adhere these down. This means they're not going to move around, and this is going to make sure that I'm going to be able to emboss them in the same place on each of the card panels in exactly the same place. And I could use this on all different pieces if I wanted to make sure that they're all going to be exactly the same. So as you can see, I'm just adding a little bit of tape behind each of the letters and then just adhering them down onto that piece of acetate. Okay, so once I have that done, I'm just going to turn it over, add it to my panel, and just line it up so all the edges are exactly the same and nice and straight with each other, and then going to emboss this through my machine. So I have a little bit of an embossing mat under here so it's nice and squidgy. So rather than cut the letters out, it has embossed them into my panel. As you can see here, it's very, very subtle, but it is very, very pretty. So I did all the panels like that, and I'm then going to add them onto some card bases. So these are 4 1/4 by 5 1/2 card bases, just with some white cardstock. And I'm using some more of that Altenew tape glue just to add these into place. I'm just adding the glue around the edges and a little bit into the middle. So here are all the cards complete. For this card, I used some Volcano, Lake, Lagoon, and Sunkissed and Orange Cream for the centers. This one I used Buttercream, Warm Sunshine, Pink Diamond, and Pinkalicious. And for this one, which I think is my favorite, I used the Pink Pearl, Coral Bliss, Dewdrops, and also some Aqualicious for the center. So there is all the cards. I really do hope that you've enjoyed this technique and that you do give it a go. I would really love to see what you do come up with. So thank you so much for watching, everyone. If you don't want to miss out on anything that we do upload to the channel, it would be great if you do subscribe. Again, thank you so much for watching. If you do want to watch any more videos, there's a couple here for you to watch, and I'll see you again really, really soon. Bye-bye.